Hello everyone, welcome to another video here on Motorcycling Endeavors. I am leaving the town of Newcastle on Route 103 going south, and I want to take a moment and shoot a very important video about encouraging you to become a sports official. Now, I've been a sports official for about 10 years. In my first 3 years, I was exclusive to basketball. And for the next, about 3 years after that, I did a mix of softball and basketball. And now I'm just exclusively softball. And I tell you, I wish that being a sports official, I wish I became a sports official, especially softball, many, many years ago. But I never did. And I just kind of want to talk to you about the importance of having sports officials and why I encourage people to become one. I am a firm believer in the student athlete and how high school, middle school, and CYO sports are a very good thing for students. I think that it helps with their development. I think it helps with their socialization. I think it gives them, you know, the sense of team. It kind of helps take away some selfishness. It's just a very good thing for their development, and that's something I firmly believe in. I believe in that whole team culture, you know, being all for one and one for all. Doesn't matter whether it's softball, football, baseball, basketball. You know, the high school game, middle school and such, is a very, very important thing. I think it's great for the schools. Oh, I just think it's just a wonderful thing. I really do. That's my personal opinion. There's a key component to these organized student athlete sports, and that is sports officials. And let me tell you, there is a shortage, a major shortage, especially young guys. Just to give you an idea, I am 44 years old, and 90% of the people I work with are at least 10 years older or more than I am. That means there's not a lot of young officials coming up, which is very sad and detrimental for high school sports, middle school sports, and student sports. Very detrimental to organized sports. And it's something that I personally would like to see changed. Being a sports official is very rewarding. There's a lot of positives to being a sports official. You know, first, you get to be a part of the sport. Not everybody gets to coach. Certainly, when you're my age, you're definitely not playing anything. And if you want to be a part of sports, what great way to do it, right? There is always an opportunity to officiate a game. Whether it's CYO, middle school, high school, travel ball, it's always a great thing to do. And it's a wonderful way to be involved in sports. Another thing that's positive is that you're being a part of the whole student athlete culture. You being a sports official and being a part of organized sports is helping in their development process. You know, helping them with the team aspect process. And that's important. That's great. We all want to be, in some ways, you know, helping our young ones grow and develop into people. And I know what you're saying, Mr. Endeavor, what are you talking about? You're just going out there calling balls and strikes or whistling and throwing flags. But it's still, you're part of the process. And you got to understand that. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay? It's a good thing. You know, another positive is the socialization aspect. You know, one of the great things about being a sports official is that all the other umpires I get to work with and meet and chat with. I love it in the beginning of the year when we start having our association meetings. You walk in and it's just kind of like a brotherhood, you know. You just kind of walk in and say, hey man, how you doing? You all these familiar faces, and you start recalling your times from the previous year or two. You start laughing and having fun. You look at your schedule for this year, and you look at all the officials you get to work with, and maybe you worked with last year or haven't worked with in a while. You start talking about the sport, all the fun stuff. It's fun, it's good, it's a great way to socialize, and you get to meet a lot of coaches. Regardless of what a lot of people say, a lot of these coaches are really awesome. Sure, you know, during game time, they may get a little rowdy, and they may get a little, excuse the French, and bitchy, but all in all, most of them are really, really good people. You know, I umpire some games in this school I'd say about almost every year. And I know the coach, when you get to the school, you know, he's like, oh man, it's great to see you. It's great, it's good, glad you came, glad you be here. You know, anything you need, you let me know. And during the game, he could be a real pill sometimes. He really can. He could be a real pill. But after the game, it's like, hey, thanks guys for coming. I really appreciate what you do and all that. So, you know, most of these guys are really, really good, and gals too. So, you know, there's a whole nice social aspect to it. And, you know, it's just also something to do. You know, it's you know, if you kind of just have a boring life and you're sitting around and you're doing nothing, or maybe you get home from work and all you do is turn on the TV, or you got nothing to do on a weekend, man, just go be a sports official. I mean, you can pick up games, you can set your own schedule. I mean, it's fantastic. It is really great. It gives you something to do if you happen to be bored out of your butt. And finally, hey, yes, you do get paid to be a sports official. You know, is it going to make you rich? No. But hey, if you can put some extra bucks in your pocket, who's not going to like that? Who's not going to appreciate that, you know? So there's a lot of good about being a sports official, and I do want to encourage everybody to go out and give it a try. Go out and become a sports official. Go to your local state association site. You know, for Indiana, it's the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Illinois is going to have one. New York will have theirs. New Jersey will have theirs. Sign up, take a test, join, and see where it leads you. It could be frustrating sometimes, sure, yes, absolutely. Are there some negatives? Yeah, you know, sometimes you run into some parents who think their kid is the next Michael Jordan when they're not. You run into that. But for the most part, it's not as bad as it seems. What you see maybe portrayed in the media and news is rare. 98% of my games are just basic going in and officiating. I go in, I do my job, I enjoy the time that I spend on the field with my fellow umpires, you know, being a part of the game, and I go home. You know, 2% of the time, yeah, you might get a rowdy parent that's just a royal you-know-what, or you may get a coach that just thinks, you know, they're God's gift to whatever. But for the most part, it's really not bad. So if you think that there's some kind of negativity associated with it, I'd just say that there's just 2% of the time. Most of the time, it's just, you're just out there, you're doing a job for the softball game, and you're having a good time, you know, and it's a good thing. So, like I said, if you're bored, if you need extra cash, if you're looking to be a part of sports, really consider being a sports official. We need you. College students, you're great, right? You can set your own schedule. Become a sports official. You get some extra pocket money. Who doesn't need extra pocket money for the weekend, right? Who doesn't need it? So really think about it and really, put some thought into it. If you got the time, yes, there's an initial investment. There may be an association fee. There usually is. Might got to buy some equipment up front, but you'll make that money back in no time at all. So there is a shortage of officials, and I highly encourage everybody to really think about becoming a sports official. It's a great thing for the community. It's a great thing for the student athlete. It's a great thing for schools. It's a great thing for colleges who actually recruit, from these varsity programs. So please, definitely, take the time, think about it, go to your state athletic association site, sign up, take the exam, take a course, and see where it leads you. Have some fun. If there's any questions that you have, feel free to put them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. But thank you for listening, and maybe one day, you never know, I hope to see you on the field. I'll talk to you guys later. Stay safe, be good, enjoy life, and I'll see you at the next video.